So keep in mind, guys, this is turn 5. Yep, me too, dude. I also agree. All right, this is my turn 5 open attack. I could let him vengeance that, but what if I just didn't? Have a cupcake, dude. Hey guys, what's up? So I thought I'd do something a little bit different today. Normally I show off more competitive lists, but I had some fun messing around with this concept today on ladder, and I was able to climb a little bit with like a 60% win rate. But I want to be very, very clear. This is not a competitive list, and I would not recommend trying to climb with this deck. Basically, the premise behind this deck is pretty simple, as you saw from the clip. Basically, we are trying to cheat out these frozen thralls, the frostguard thralls, very, very aggressively. And we're doing so in a lot of different ways. Mostly the new advanced cards, Time in a Bottle, Clockwork Curator, are going to be the biggest tools for us there. And we are cheating them out very, very fast, so that, you know, we're able to close the game. Sometimes you can get them as early as turn 4. Sometimes you're doubling up on the frost guards with Promising Future. And oftentimes we're still relying on Dracula and Inquisitor to tie it all together. Anyway, I won't talk too long about this deck. I wanted to, you know, let the games speak for themselves. But basically, it's just a kind of fun, meme combo concept. And for the most part, you are going to have to really kind of like plan ahead with this deck and think in really like irregular ways. In these games, you're going to see me have to like count and plan like several turns in advance and do some very, very weird plays in some situations. I had a lot of fun playing this deck today. I always enjoy decks that kind of force me into a different line of thinking, you know, a different way to approach how to play the game. And this deck definitely does that. Oh, one tip, if you're going to play this deck, Stone Weaving is in this deck for a very specific function. You need to use this when you always have 1 mana left after you play Stone Weaving. So usually this means 2 mana left. And then once you play Stone Weaving, you'll have 1 mana left. And therefore, it will always give you an option for Frozen Thrall if you have exactly 1 unit mana remaining once you play Stone Weaving. So that's how you want to use the card, because you're basically just playing more Frozen Thralls. It's like a 2 mana Frozen Thrall overall, which is absolutely something that this kind of deck is going to want. All right, guys, that's going to be it. Enjoy the games, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember, don't actually play this deck. Yeah, Clockhand is actually not that bad here. The card I lost to is Clockhand. It might be a 2-of. Clockhand is actually like part of what makes this deck scary. I was running 1 Clockhand before, but I must have cut it at the last second. But yeah, no, I'm pretty happy to run like 1 or 2 Clockhand in this deck. Absolutely. It's like, it's one of the things that makes this a bit scarier. I built mine with Zilean. I don't think Zilean makes sense. God, speaking of Zilean, what was Zilean doing in that Monarch Shurima list? What was that? All right, I think you have to full mulligan for the thralls. I think that's the only way this deck works. I mean, I'd love to keep Time in a Bottle. Oh yeah, double thrall, baby! Give me the triple! That's all you need! Oh, I fucking love this deck, actually. Send me the code for Bratch to monostream in chat. Yeah, sure. Alright, so I've even got a 3rd thrall with Stone Weaving. The triple. Oh, baby! Alright, the triple thrall and the Dracula in hand. This is unstoppable. If we lose this game, I'm deleting this deck. If he has like Keeper Butcher, by the way, we lose. Alright. He doesn't have an aggro jaw. Looks like we're just good. What do you do against this? Actually. It doesn't even do anything. Countdown 3 for the next attack. Oh, yeah. Alright, this is emote worthy. So I'm gonna want the 2/2 on defense 2 turns from now, so it's definitely Ancient Prep this turn. Oh, yeah. Imagined possibilities. Does this actually accelerate them by 1 round? It has to be imagined, though. Yeah, because the 3rd one I played on turn 3, like, these are pretty slow thralls. Alright. What is he doing? Guys, he's Rite of Calling or something. He's got a weird hand. It's like double glimpse. He needed the ephemeral. Okay. So I've got imagined possibilities. I'm pretty ready. We need the board space though. It's kind of the only problem. Like I want a rock bear here, but I need him to attack in so my clocklink can block. Nobody would actually do that. Nobody would like not attack. You have space? Well, well, it's not the worst thing ever if he doesn't get to summon his Frozen Thrall. I mean, I kind of want it, you know?
The Emperor commands, the land obey.
I should probably play the Draklorn now and not really care about that last Frozen Thrall. I'm kind of trolling by even thinking about it. I also just have like Ice Shard this turn. What a neat deck. Whatever. I don't need to do anything. Oh yeah. Go nuts.
They grow up so fast.
Whee! Oh yeah. All right, guys. Here we go.
My saplings.
So, this is it. Our Draklorn hits the board. He needs like a Black Spear Vile Feast. And here we go. We've got exactly one Frostguard Thrall on our attack. But, I mean... Okay, the next attack will be really impressive. So, we can use one Imagined Possibilities. That way we'll at least have this 5/4 on this attack. And I guess I need to keep my Draklorn Fat Kidded on the bench. I mean, honestly, homie's taking so much damage. I've got another Imagined Possibilities. What if I just don't Fat Kid my Draklorn? Okay. He's freeing up our board space. Perfect. Oh, an 8/8. Look at this guy jumping through so many hoops just to get an 8/8 on turn 6. Alright. So there's 3. Alright. We've got 2 more Imagined Possibilities. Like, when this deck nuts, it does nut. Lysandra? Yeah. Another thing is, this deck flips Lysandra really fast sometimes, too. Like, sometimes you just win because your Nexus gets tough on, like, turn 6. It's really stupid. But, I shit you not. This deck is actually not that bad. It'll need a more established meta. It's more of, like, an anti-meta deck than anything else. I don't expect it to do nuts in the first couple of days, but... It might make a few waves. Might surprise us a bit. Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess he's just, like, glimpsing off of this. I kind of don't even really care, honestly. Yeah, you can glimpse here. You can have one of my guys. That's fine. Sure. I'll allow it. I needed the board space anyway, to be honest, because I'm making more. Alright. We've got the Talia clone. Oh god, I won't have a landmark. Talia actually won't even be able to do her attack thing. Because I don't have a landmark. Why is this card so bad? Alright, here we go. Alright, this open attack looks pretty juicy. It's a shame we're still losing to like Atrocity Glimpse, isn't it? Isn't that wacky? Guess we're open attacking. Alright. Sounds good. If I lose this game, I swear to God, dude. He would have had to top deck the... Oh my god. So that's the Atrocity, but he doesn't have the other one. Alright, we're at 1 health. We almost lost this game. Jesus Christ. That would have that would have been such a tilter. Leave 1 Talia? I don't think there's a reason to. Another benefit, by the way, of going to 0 Talia is if I want to, I can run Rite of Calling to help me get Lysandra, and I might want that. Lysandra's still pretty good, and Dune Keeper helps both the Rite of Calling as well as being that 1 mana card, the 1 mana proactive card I was talking about to enable Stone Weaving on turn 2. It's going to be such a common spot in this deck, where I have Stone Weaving on turn 2. I have no Thrall, and I have no Ancient Preparations. When you run the math on that, because it's independent of attack token, right? It's independent of attack token. Stone Weaving on turn 2. The difference of getting it 1 turn faster. Wait, I can do the numbers on that. I can do the numbers on how valuable that is, because it only depends. All of your accelerators, except for Promising Future, are evens. They're all 2s and 4s. Which means that it does depend whether you're attacking evens or odds. Because getting the Thrall a turn early matters a lot more when you're attacking on that turn. Net decked already. Jesus. Oh, am I just running Promising Future in the mirror? Am I actually just keeping this card? That's so stupid. I think I am. I kind of want to keep Troll Chant too. It's literally going to be our 8/8s attacking each other. And the Troll Chant is actually going to swing that in like a ridiculously important way. This is such a weird mulligan. Okay, Clock Hand might have to be a meme though. I think Clock Hand is a little redundant with Promising Futures. Like the fact that I want to be bursting these out a lot earlier makes this card just have to be too slow, I think. I will have to take Clock Hand out. Alright, so he got the Thrall. He's got a bit of a better start than me potentially, but my hand is scary. If he has Lysandra here, he's way ahead. Okay, he's way ahead. Got a free attack. So I can use Promising Future. If I use Promising Future now, we're attacking on odds. So we've got the turn 7 play off of the Draklorn. I mean, he's not running landmark removal, so there shouldn't really be a downside of Promising Future unless he's literally Q sniping with Desert Naturalist like a troll. And I don't think he can really do much here. I will just do this. Also, zero irony, Promising Future plus Hourglass. Like, I don't mind running Hourglass in this deck. That is kind of a crazy combo sometimes. God, this is really cool. This is really, really cool. If I had a Nuts hand, I could flip this Frozen Thrall on attack here, but I'm just going to have to do it off of the Draklorn plus Time in a Bottle. And this is going to get me 2 Draklorns on defense. If I was attacking evens, I'd have them on offense, which is a bit scarier. But this is exactly what I want. And on defense, it's still nice. It's not overflowing on board space. Ice Shard is kind of useless here. I think just more Time in a Bottle. Actually. Okay, so now I've got... Yeah, there's no reason to take any attack here. I've got the 2 Thralls. My Lysandra's leveled up on turn 5. Promising Future has to be a 3 of here. Because this is such an important part of our combo. Like... This isn't the matchup where the Lysandra being leveled up is that important. But it does matter. Like, in other matchups, Lysandra being leveled up on 5 will just win you the game in a really stupid way. And I think I like Rite of Calling for that reason. So this is the Troll Chant we kept in our opening hands. I love Troll Chanting here because even if he keeps his alive, the double Ice Shard will potentially kill it as well. Clockhand will get you Watcher. Clockhand is an interesting way to try to enable Watcher. So, I mean, I can start putting on a little bit of extra pressure. We want the Draklorn to summon this Frozen Thrall this turn, and I can do that with Imagine Possibilities plus Time in a Bottle for our triple Thrall attack next turn. So we're going to set that up. I don't need any of these. Entomb his. Entombing his is interesting. I'm not going to do it though, no. Desert Naturalist can't fit in this deck. There's no way. I would love landmark. I would love flexible landmark removal, but a 4 mana slow speed unit does not work for that. He's running Preservationist, which I'm pretty sure is bad. But, I mean, it might be better than Clockhand. I'd play it here instead of Clockhand. And I think I have to use Imagine Possibilities just to let, like, 1 more Draklorn attack here. I think it's worth it. If I had a super spicy hand with another Promising Feature, I could have Watcher right now. And the question is, I mean, do I have a good enough Ice Shard to just jam? I guess this Ice Shard is enough. I mean, it's positive value, I guess. I don't know. Not doing a ton in this matchup, but that's fine. Honestly, the thing about this matchup is that Tough Nexus doesn't matter, and the free Ice Shards don't matter. But this is also the one matchup where the Watcher will actually reliably be how you win. So, spamming the 8/8 still does matter. It still does matter. The fact that he's attacking evens might be a really big advantage for him, though, because he can actually, on turn 8, summon the Watcher, and I could just lose to that. I can save Lyssandra's Entomb to give me an extra draw if that happens. That's pretty good. I think it's just the easiest open attack of my life. I really can't do anything else here. I don't have a second Draklorn. Yeah, Draklorn has nothing. Yeah, it's just open attack. You can Entomb his Watcher, too. Yeah, since he can't clone it, I could Entomb his as well, yeah. Dude, this is sick. Why is Ancient Preparations in this deck? Ancient Preparations is, I think, an auto 3 of. It's too important at fixing our hand states, and like I said, I need a proactive 1-drop to be able to enable some of our stuff. So, I mean, his Nexus is tough now as well. Ice Shred still pushes a little bit of additional damage, technically. Since, I mean, I'm the one attacking with the Overwhelm. I don't know if this is worth it. I'm kind of letting him Troll Chant as well if he's trying to save something. And pushing this damage can't actually help me win. Aren't I always trying to win off of Watcher? Entomb the blocking one. I mean, he'll have a way to stop the lethal, I think. I don't know. I guess I could have tried to just go in on Entombing the defensive one, but that's such a... It loses me the game to, like, if he has any way to stop it, I just lose. Because then, once I've used the Entomb, I can't deal with the Watcher next turn. I just want to be able to counter his Watcher next turn so I can win for free. So, both of our Jacklorns are dying at the same time to this Blighted Ravine. And my hand is starting to brick out. So, he's got the last 2 he needed for his Watcher. And this is the thing that will happen a lot in this matchup. Oh, wow. He's Shen emoting. He has right. I can't beat a right.
At last, an awakening.
That really sucks. I mean, I want to let him obliterate my deck first, right? I think it's... Yeah. I want to let him obliterate my deck. Right now, we basically have to assume he doesn't have right. Use it now? Wait, what's the upside of using it now? It doesn't matter, does it? So if he has Right of Negation, we lose either way. I want him to obliterate our deck because we have one more attack, and I want to make sure I'm drawing another Entomb next turn. If I let him obliterate my deck first before doing this, I can guarantee that I'm drawing into another Entomb next turn. Of course, we lose to right either way, but there's no playing around right, so it doesn't matter. I just want to draw the Entomb. That can actually make a difference. This one looks fine. And I can try to clock into Watcher him. Let's do this. Yeah, and if he has right. Oh, he's running Succumb? Jesus. Yeah, Succumb is definitely not great here. I could see it as like... It's such a weird card. I could see it as like a weird one over a 2 of, but only under very specific conditions, I think. So... I need to make sure he can't kill our Thrall. I think we're trying to win off of our Watcher, though. Yeah, he just has more Thralls. This matchup is... It comes so much to just, like, having more Thralls than the guy. It doesn't even matter getting them out earlier. Because you can't... Like, they have so much defense. You can't really beat them down.
Stinging cold.
It's just like Ice Shred spam does nothing. Pass into Clock Hand and maybe win, I think is my only line of play. I just have to hope he doesn't have the answer to my Watcher.
Embrace the cold.
Pulled out the Watcher with Entomb on Thrall plus Time in a Bottle. Oh, last turn? Oh, yeah. There's going to be weird lines of play you can make like that. That's interesting. But yeah, in this case, the only problem is I'm all in, of course, because I'm tapping under Entomb, so I will literally lose if this attack doesn't work. But I think there's no way of winning here regardless. I just have to enable the Watcher and try. Yeah, it's a tie, but, I mean, there's no other way to do this here. Advanced Landmark 4 rounds. Does that have any implications?
So much left undone.
He probably just has his own Entomb, though. This is really stupid.
Together, we are stronger than stone, faster than the wind.
Alright. He has the double Talia hand. He's just playing the Talia now so that he can shuffle a second Talia after this attacks. That's all he needs. Wait. I can't use this. I can't use instant sentries because it could get me Preservarium. I will lose on the spot if this summons Preservarium. It's a random landmark with countdown. I just have to attack like this. It'll draw me and I'll lose. This is so stupid. All right, I've obliterated his deck now. If he doesn't have a second Talia, then we're just gonna tie. Ah, he has the second Lysandra. That's sad. Man, come on, dude. All right, Jesus. This is a pretty dumb mirror. There's definitely some big brain stuff you can do. It feels a little tricky for it to not boil down to who draws more thralls, though. There's some big brain plays we missed out on. Advance it. Unfortunately, I mean, it already stops the attack, so advancing it doesn't matter. Like, I can summon the Watcher again, which is pretty funny. Alright. Wait a second. Why did the time in the bottle... Oh, is it because I couldn't predict? Because that should have advanced. I'm just curious, because obviously I've lost the game, but... Is it because I have no deck to predict? So time in a bottle doesn't work? Because it should normally work on Tomb, right? And Tomb one of your thralls to level list faster. I think in that matchup, if I'm attacking on odds, I do need to level Lysandra on turn 7, and I should play towards it. If I'm attacking on... If I'm attacking on evens, it makes sense to play how I did. But that's so weird. But you're right, I think. So, the biggest question is, you know... what is this deck looking for? I think for the most part, we do need a little bit more early stabilization. I might need a third Ice Shard or, yeah, maybe an Avalanche here. I think it's kind of insane that I'm not running an Avalanche. It's sort of adorable that Imagined Possibilities plus Ravine can be an Avalanche, but that really doesn't work because this is focus speed. So that would be a 2-action Avalanche, which just actually doesn't work. I don't think there's any escaping it. Avalanche is just like part of what allows you to give up the board in the early game against the deck that has a problem against aggro. And you could also run Tavern Keeper as well. Tavern Keeper is a nice way of being able to help out, you know, aggressiveness. Because the thing about this deck is we're really worried about the aggro matchup more than anything else, right? A lot more than anything else. Against control, this deck is thriving if it's, you know, drawing the Frozen Thralls, which, you know, we're already building in everything we can add to maximize our chances of getting, you know, fast Thralls against some of the slower decks. But there's less we can do against aggro. Talia is too niche. So we have to ask ourselves, like, what Talia is doing with this deck. I mean, she's effectively summoning the 8/8. But she's doing it in a way that might be just a lot more awkward than Promising Futures. Zed, reviving like the old school Kinko style. Might have to keep Blighted Ravine here, especially, you know, he's attacking on odds. It's a little slower than I'd like, but I think it's forced. Alright, this is an example of a bad hand. This is not the hand we want to be seeing here. Yeah, Lysandra's fine. I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah, I haven't drawn Lysandra in these games either. Lysandra is a really integral part of this deck. I mean, she's not really as good as the Thralls. Wow, this guy's playing the real OG version. Like the true old school. Holy shit.
I need no weapon.
Another cute thing is I can run something like Ancient Hourglass just to try to get like a turn 4 Frozen Thrall off of Lysandra. I think that's really bad though. Turn 4 is already a little too slow for Thrall. So he didn't really have that fast of a start. He's not putting out that much early pressure. And this is looking like a really powerful, promising future, actually. God, I can almost attack with this Thrall on turn 4. I'm one countdown off of being able to flip this here. So the most important thing we're going to need is the Draculorn Inquisitor needs to pull the other Thrall because we're going to need a source for the countdown. This game's going to go on a little bit longer. Yeah, we need another source for the countdown. And I don't really mind if he wants to block and kill the Lysandra either. No, I do. I want my Nexus to get tough. So I'm pretty happy just taking an attack like this. I don't want to use my other Curator here. Because it's not really about dealing chip damage right now. It's just about setting up. And my 8/8s are going to be attacking on next turn anyway. Wait a second. Oh, do I need to play Promising Future now, though? Yeah, if I don't play Promising Future now, then it won't work at all, right? Oh, but I'm out of board space. I need him to attack with Omen Hawks, which he won't do. I'm literally completely out of board space. I messed up. Wow, that's so weird. But I couldn't really have avoided playing the Curator.
The ice is melting.
Promising Future is a lot better than Talia. You guys are right. This is much, much better. Because it will actually... The fact that it uses spell mana will allow you to do these cheats out much earlier than Talia ever could. Talia's just so... I'm going to cut all the Talias immediately. Yeah. So, I'm hoping he attacks with the Omen Hawk, but of course he doesn't here. Alright. And we can't really stall out one more attack. So it looks like we're pretty screwed. Don't Drac. I can't Drac anymore. Is this just the Blighted Ravine turn? Curator's Swing might be a little bit better. I think I want a Ravine afterwards. You can Drac? Wait, guys. If I Drac right now, then I lose a Frozen Thrall next turn. It'll be out of room. Because we used Promising Future on this. It'll try to summon 2, and it won't have the room on the board space. I can't Drac now. It won't work. But I need the double Drac to attack next turn. So I think it comes down to probably... It's either Curator right now or Blighted Ravine. But I think I can Blighted Ravine after. You can Drac? Am I missing something? I'm so confused, guys. We don't have enough board space to Drac there. It's fine. We don't need the Drac. The Drac is kind of redundant with Promising Future. We just need to be able to put him on a 2-turn clock while staying alive. The only problem is I don't think there's a way to stay alive against his next attack. I can try.
You will do as I command.
That's so interesting, though. This is a really cool deck. Like, it's sometimes you just have to ignore Drac. Drac is really baity in situations like that because the only thing that matters is leveling up Lysandra and attacking like this. Like, look how stupid this is.
If I must.
Our Lysandra's leveled, we're getting Ice Shards, our Nexus is tough, and we're putting him on a forced 2-turn clock. Like, he needs to play something to even make this a 2-turn clock instead of just dying right now. Like, this is actually a scary deck a little bit. This is pretty cool. I might use Lysandra as well. Lysandra could be pretty good. And now I've got, of course, the Blighted Ravine. And that's GG. Super, super GG. Yeah, and that's why we had to sequence like this. It seems kind of weird, but that's why I played the Curator last turn. You can't Drac there, right? Because you're out of the board space. Yeah, that's fine. I don't even care. You're out of the board space. I needed to play the Curator so that I would have the open attack because I knew I would want to Ravine on the next turn. I knew I would want to open attack with my double Thrall attack to force it out of him and flip the Lysandra without a counter response because that's what needs to happen for me to win the game. This is a game where it's important to understand when Drac is actually just hilariously a bait.
Kneel, students. Rise,
Yeah. Come on, guy. What's happening here? Oh, dude, he's using like the true old school deck, like the real old school one. So, yeah, I mean, he doesn't even have lethal here. I don't even really need to do this, but yeah, I mean, sure, why not? Ooh. I mean, there's no actual way he can kill me. Am I missing something?
Feel the power of true ice.
All right, and yeah, this doesn't matter. I mean, these Frostguard Thralls are actually just gonna win me the game.
I live and die for you alone, my lady.
I don't know. I can use Ancient Prep there. I just like, I guess it's hard for me to imagine it mattering. But yeah, the Lysandra level is going to be really impactful in this deck. That'll be something that happens quite a bit. However, it's not about the Watcher. The Watcher, it's going to be, I think, pretty rare for the Watcher to actually be how we're winning a game. We'll see, though. He could survive this turn if he does something to this Ice Shard. He needs a, you know, Nopify or second Troll Chant. Okay. And then he's dead to my Shard next turn, because he's at 1 health, right? Alright. Well, good luck on that top deck, buddy. Yeah, it never actually matters here. Still close, though. Yeah, I mean, he managed to stay alive a couple of turns here. Man, I love this deck. It's super cool. This is going to be a really, really interesting deck building puzzle. And you'll have to do some wacky things with Promising Future. Some really, really weird things with Promising Future. Like that kind of turn where you have to decline the Draklorn because of Promising Future. It's really, really, really scary. You're actually winning so much with this deck. I know. Like, this deck is actually surprisingly good. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think this has to be a meme. The new cards actually help this so much. Mostly Time in a Bottle. Like, Time in a Bottle specifically, just the fact that we never had a way to accelerate Thralls without Draklorn before was the biggest thing by far. But now we have access to so many of these combos that we didn't before. So Promising Future is just a better Talia. I don't know if I want 3 Promising Futures or 2, but it might be 3 for games like that. Like that, it just leads to some of your scariest early combos. God, I think this one of Hourglass might end up being pretty low-key. I don't think I can run this card as more than a one of, but it does do some weird lines that just get completely opened up by this card. How's Thrall's doing? Surprisingly well. It actually feels legit. And like, I need to refine the list. But it's spooky. The more I look at the game plan, I think Lysandra is pretty essential to this. I really might want to try a Rite of Calling version. So this is Zillion Nasus. Do I have to keep Ravine in this matchup? I already do have the 1 Thrall. Okay, I've got double Thrall. Triple Thrall. Well, that feels good. Just play Entreat instead of Rite of Calling. Yeah, that's a consideration too. I'm not sure if I want to spend 2 mana on it. But, I mean, it might be better in this deck. So here we have to use the Stone Weaving for the second Thrall instead of playing the second Thrall for hand. Because again, Stone Weaving into Thrall is something you can only do when you have exactly 2 mana left. So it gets a little bit less reliable if we try to, you know, do the Stone Weaving on turn 3. So this is weird because in theory, I should be using Clockwork Curator on one of them. There's an argument as to which one should be used. Probably the one that's going off sooner. If I had Draklorn Inquisitor, it would make sense to go for the slower one. I think in this case, it might make the most sense to Ancient Preparations now, and then depending on whether I draw Draklorn Inquisitor off of it, it can determine which one I want to Curator. I don't think I want to commit the Curator yet. There's the Draklorn. And it depends on my attack turn too. So I play the Draklorn on 5, which is the attack turn. Unfortunately, we can't attack on 6, but we have the full attack on 7. We've got the defensive Draklorn draw. And we need him to attack into us so I can trade this off. Because we've got the defensive Draklorn draw, I can Curator the 7 down to a 5, and the 5 will go to a 4 off of Draklorn. So the Curator wants to be used on the 7. Right? That's the thing. Like, the Draklorn information changes what we want to use the Curator on, I think. But maybe I'm playing this wrong. Maybe I was supposed to do a Promising Future blind. Yeah, and he's intentionally not attacking. I don't think it's a good attack for him anyway. I think it's totally fine to just like Draklorn and lose out on the board space. In the matchup like this, in the mirror, obviously, you just have to go for like full greed. But it's like the turn 5 8 countdown Thrall isn't really that good anyway. It's kind of redundant. I mean, I'll open attack first and see what he does. But if it came to it, I would be totally fine just playing the Draklorn and not getting the Thrall on turn 5. It's important to understand that, I mean, a Thrall on a different turn is just a very different thing. I think I was supposed to abandon it. I think I was intentionally supposed to open attack with the Draklorn. I was supposed to develop the Draklorn before my attack and intentionally sacrifice the Thrall because I really don't want the Thrall here. I don't want the Draklorn Thrall because I want to use Promising Future on one of the Thralls that's going to hatch soon. I do have to Draklorn now, right? I mean, it's sort of cute to like try to get him to tap under like a potential Black Spear plus Go Hard or Black Spear plus Feast or Vengeance or something. God, do I actually not have to Draklorn now? The pressure's on him to do something. I think he is running Vengeance. I think I actually can wait one more action. Like these countdowns force the pressure to be on him. Like if we're basically if we're burning mana equivalently, I think that's a lot better for me than it is for him. And of course, I'm one negative in that mana burn, but it's fine.
All paths lead me.
You don't have to Draklorn when you're not attacking next turn. Yeah, he's not putting pressure, so we don't need the defensive 8/8s. A defensive 8/8 does really nothing here. And again, he's staying at the amount of mana. So this is the problem with not sacrificing the Thrall, because I want to do a Promising Future. If he passes with 7 mana open, I pretty much have to pass back. But if he plays, then if I play the Thrall, then that's not even necessarily great. Because my Thrall will, my Draklorn Inquisitor, sorry, I'm gonna stop referring to this card as Thrall, will summon the Thrall, and it'll fill up my board so that I won't have enough room to get it. I'm a lot less worried about a Vengeance now. And I'm not vulnerable to a Ruination. I guess if he Vengeances me, I'm really not... I think I actually am fine with Draklorning here. I think I would love to get Vengeanced at this point. Because it doesn't the board space issue is resolved because of the futures. And we top decked Imagined Possibilities. Oh, interesting. He's letting me trade down my board. I think I will just take this opportunity to sacrifice my unit. Oh yes, thank you for letting me trade down my board. Hilariously enough, if you find yourself against this deck, like you will want to deny them every opportunity to do that. So another thing is, if I summon the Frozen Thralls on a defense turn for me, it actually is even bad because it allows him to Ruinate. I want to open attack with all of these Thralls. I don't want to summon them on a defensive turn at all. This is the easiest open pass of my life. And that Nasus is really, really small since I haven't given him anything. At this point, I think I have a completely free Blighted Ravine. That looks pretty good. And again, I can't play Inquisitor on an offensive turn because I can't hatch my guys on a defensive turn. This is great. So we clean up his board. You know, I damaged my Nexus by 2 there, but that's fine. It won't matter. And now we're kind of forking him. His Ruination is never going to be good here because we're open attacking with Thralls that didn't exist the turn before. And I'm pretty happy to play the Draklorn now. Again, a second Vengeance I really wouldn't mind. If he attacks, he's freeing up board space for the Imagined Possibilities. I actually am perfectly fine trading off this Draklorn. Like, I'm happy either way. I'm getting kind of the same amount of Thralls either way. Your future. Guys, I know we have Promising Future. Guys, but it's the same Thrall that we're getting on the attack. The 2-1. Guys. Like, he has to deal with this, and I'm stopping his attack. If he doesn't attack with his Nasus, he's not winning the game. I don't need a 4th Frozen Thrall, guys. Like, these cards have just giga diminishing returns. All right, I'm happy to let this one through. I only need 3, right? The only problem with letting this through is I'm kind of like in atrocity range, and I kind of like, you know, lose the game by doing that. We're gonna overflow 1 Thrall, and it's not gonna matter. Because we're going to have 3 of them, which is truly all we need. Does this make my Ice Shard worth it? I'm basically 1/8 gay.
Hey, Swim, can you double check this bomb for me?
Because if his bomb goes off, I don't know which would go off first, but if his bomb goes off before my Thralls, then this Ice Shard is worth it. What's the sequence? Which player does it go off for first? There's a weird hidden rule. They might have changed it. But it has to do... Why does mine go first? Did they make it the one who passes first goes first? We're about to find out. Attack token? It didn't used to be attack token. Did they change it? I'm just gonna do this for science. I don't care. Okay. Wait. Yeah. That was kind of dumb because the Draklorn is end of turn anyway. I had a weird mental thing. Yeah. Ignore that, guys. That wasn't very scientific. Okay. God, this creates in hand. This card is so dog shit. What the hell?
Return to dust.
Yeah, it's just completely useless. Okay. That was a throw. Yeah, that was a really just pointless misplay. And yeah, this is the kind of like exact situation where Clockhand is just winning me the game on the spot. It could maybe be a one-off. I don't know, man. It still seems kind of hard. So depending on what I predict into, Time in a Bottle could be sometimes better on the 6 than the 4. I think that's a little too greedy. I think I should always use it on the 4. Like, what actually rewards going for the 6 instead of the 4? Pretty much nothing. Anything that accelerates one will get them both anyway. That's an easy skip.
The waters give you life, child.
God, I'm so happy with this deck. Like, you guys have no idea. When there's a new deck that feels like it can actually be viable, and it's like a completely new playstyle and concept, and it's not just like an auto build, it gives me tingles. Interesting. I mean, you can do some face damage here. It is pretty funny how much I messed this game up off that Jackalope thing last time, though. All right. This is also a deck that basically completely bricks Ruination. Oh man, I got a chance. I mean, Chance can be okay if his play is like, you know, Vile kind of thing. But usually it's just interesting. Oh, looks like Chance is good here then. Would you look at that? That's interesting. Oh, GG. Oh, I fucking love this deck, dude. Okay. It's all coming together. This is what happens when you stop playing Fiora. Happiness.